In today's video, I am going to be breaking down a hometown player. Yeah, this player came from Hamilton, Ontario, where I live. His name is Shai Gilgeous Alexander. He is one of the better players in the NBA, in my own personal opinion. But we are going to be breaking down his mid-range shot. He is a fantastic shooter, so let's get down and let's break down Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Okay, so in this clip, we have Shai driving on the Orlando Magic. He is driving towards the middle of the key. This is fantastic. Like, check this out. His shoulders are lower than his defenders. This is a fantastic drive, but he has a big, massive player over here who obviously he does not want to have blocking his shot. So he goes right, left. He's able to then fake the player, bring the ball over towards that left side, get that player out of his way, and then he's able to turn into his shot. Now check out how his footwork is. This is absolutely beautiful. Now, really quickly, he goes up on his toe, does that fake, he goes down on the side of his foot. He hasn't traveled yet. This is beautiful. And then he's able to turn into his shot, and he's able to square up his body to the point where this is where his actual shooting form for set shots comes from. Obviously, his right foot is a little bit more farther out in front than he normally is on a set shot, but he is loading up all of his momentum onto that left leg that has the toe to the ground. He's able to bring that ball from his gather, which is at his hips, just below his hips, and he's able to bring it up into his shot. Now, if we watch that elbow, this is what I really like to watch as a trainer myself. The least amount of movement when it comes to your arms as possible is better to stay consistent, because when you start making too much movement, for example, in your elbow, what's going to happen is, because now if you make a little bit more movement, if you bend it a little bit farther when you're on your way up to your set point, then you're going to be having maybe a more inconsistent shot. So elbow is extremely important in my eyes. Now, when he turns into his shot, we see him bring his elbow into his body, and then he raises up into his set point. He has very little movement up until this point right there. He starts bending just a little bit on his elbow. But what is his elbow? In line with his shoulder to the rim. This is going to be your main point of accuracy. Next is having your elbow underneath the ball, which for his set shots, it generally is. Now, when he goes up for his shot, we see that it's just past 90, or just less than 90, I should say. And we see that his shoulders are pretty well in line with the basket, square-wise. And then same as his hips. They are pretty well square as well. Now, he does have, in this shot, his right leg coming out, but that's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. When you do a shot, a fadeaway style shot, you're going to have your right leg if you're right-handed, your left leg if you're left-handed come out just a bit from your body. It's going to help stabilize your body from spinning in one direction or the other. Think of it as a skater. When they bring their arms in, they spin faster. When they put their arms out, they spin not as fast. Now, when he goes up for his shot, we notice, this is really good, he does not shoot with a thumb flick. Now, his left wrist does slightly bend towards the forward position, but he is not pushing with his thumb. Now, when he goes up for a shot, he's able to then push the ball up. We see that the elbow is above his eyes, which is absolutely fantastic. This is going to give him the arc that he needs. And on top of all of that, that is a very high release. So picture this as 180 degrees, for example. You do not want to release forward at 90, because of course what that is going to do for you is give you absolutely zero arc. You want to have your arms higher than 45 degrees, which we generally see at the release point, that his arms are above 45 degrees, which anywhere in this angle is going to give you a lot of arc on your shot, which is very important. That's going to help that ball go in. Basically, the more arc you have, the bigger that rim looks to the ball. Now, when he does finish and release that ball, we notice that it's a straight hand. which is going to then give that ball more rotation, more spin. Actually, I should have put that line the other way, more backspin on that ball. The reason why this is important is because with the arc, what's going to happen now is with the backspin, if the ball hits the back of the rim, the front of the rim, or any of the sides of the rim, there's going to be a higher probability of that ball bouncing in. It doesn't matter if it's one of these breakaway rims or a double rim at the park. The more rotation and the more arc on your shot, the higher chance you're going to have to make that shot. I also really want to go back just a bit and look at his shot. Considering that we are going off of the left foot, not the right, we really want to see if it was a different angle, if we were more over towards this angle instead of this angle, what we would notice is that his shoulders are pretty well in line with the backs of his knees and down to his heels. Now what that's going to do for him is that's going to then help him do a fadeaway. However, if he was looking to do a shot from further distance away, he would have his shoulders over his knees, over his toes, and we actually do see that when he does a set shot. Now from a different angle, this is the angle of course in front of him. As we can see, that elbow is pretty well underneath that ball. If we look at the inline underneath the ball, it is just out towards the right side of that ball. Now, when he starts going up for his shot, we notice that he ends up having the ball over top of his elbow, which will end up with a very nice straight shot. And we see that that ball goes around 2.5 rotations, which is good. You want to have at least 2.5 rotations. We notice that that ball hits the left side of that rim, and because of that rotation, he's able to have it bounce in. This is why we want rotation on that shot. It's very important. Shai is a very good player, and we will be breaking down his set shots very soon. However, I just wanted to make this video because, of course, a lot of players are trying to imitate their favorite players, and if Shai is one of your favorite players, then being able to drive towards the middle of the key and spinning off of your defender is going to be very important, being able to shoot shots from close in, but also with that style form. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.